Hello everyone and welcome. In this video, I'll show you how to use Kiripple with the ready-made project files and how to quickly turn MIDI into a piano performance animation with Kiripple Rust. I'll also demonstrate how it's done in Unreal Engine and in Blender. The two workflows share a lot in common. First, you'll need to download our Kiripple software. The link is in the description. A cloud drive link. Once you open it, you'll see a Music.ly software package. There are several packages inside, but you only need to download the Kiripple one. The others are for different instruments. For piano, Kiripple is all you need. Once you extract it, it looks something like this. Inside, you'll find several items. First, there's the Kiripple Rust executable, which is used to compute and generate the piano animation. Then there's Kiripple Blender, which is the Blender plugin. There's also Kiripple Maya. However, I haven't maintained the Maya plugin in a while, so it's probably broken by now, but the Blender plugin still works fine. You'll mainly be using these two. Installing the Blender plugin is very simple. Just drag and drop the zip file onto the Blender interface. Next, you'll also need to download the project files. Those are also on a cloud drive. Once you open it, you'll see it's organized into categories. If you're using Unreal, just go into the UE project folder and download the Kiripple.zip package. Once you unzip it, it's a directory. It looks something like this. Inside, there's a Kiripple.u project file. Just double-click it to open the project in Unreal Engine. Of course, compilation will take a bit of time. Also, when I packaged this, my UE version was 5.7.3. I'm not sure if opening it with other versions will cause any issues. And actually, I started developing this on 5.7.0 originally, and I've accidentally upgraded it a few times along the way. Anyway, it shouldn't be a big problem. So how do we use it in UE? Alright, I've now opened the UE project. There are already quite a few characters in here. That's because I've put all the music dolls into the same project file, regardless of which instrument they play. Let's take a look at the sidebar first. In the sidebar, I've organized things into a few folders. Camera and lighting. We can ignore those. In the players folder, you'll find all the music dolls. Their structure typically consists of an instance. Under the sphere you see here, there's a skeletal mesh attached for the character and the instrument. There are also other things attached. For example, there might be, for instance, Ramu has an iPad attached and such. So that's the basic structure. At the very bottom you can also see a dedicated sequence folder. Since different instruments use different tracks, there are many sequences for different tracks here. Now let's look at the piano. We just need to open the piano sequence. Inside the piano sequence, there are already several piano dolls here, including Ramu, Sandrine, and Farina. Farina is still a work in progress, by the way. Sid Lally, they're all in here. If you don't want the scene to be too cluttered with too many characters visible, there's a layers panel here. You can choose which layers to view. For example, let's only look at the piano layer and hide the others. Oh wait, Kaya is still here. Let me find him. Select Kaya and move him to a different layer. He belongs to the wind instrument layer. There, he's gone. Let's use Sid Lally as our example. We want to take the animation generated from MIDI import it into this character's skeleton. To do that, we need to use the music DAW plugin. First, we need to switch to animation mode. Then in the Windows menu, select the music DAW menu option. This is a plugin. It's already included in my project files. If you want to add this plugin to your own project, go to Curable project directory and look for the plugins folder. There's a folder called Music DAW under plugins. Not the one above. It's the Kawaii plugin I'm using. It's this Music DAW one. You can copy this folder directly into your own projects. Plugins directory. Then, in the settings. In settings, go to plugins settings and search for Music DAW. Enable it and restart. And then you'll be able to use this plugin. This plugin also has an open source repository, and I'll provide the link to that too. But I might not update the repo as frequently, so I'd recommend just using the plugin that comes with my project files instead. Anyway, once you open it, it has a drop-down menu. Find the character we want to work with. For example, I want to use Sitlolly. It's here. KR stands for Curable. So, there are a bunch of parameters here, all already set up. We can ignore them for now. The second type is the operation type. That's the interface we'll use in a moment. Now we need to run Curable Rust. Alright, Curable Rust is running. And it looks like this. There's a character selection drop-down here. You can choose from the available piano performers. I'll just pick Sitlolly. Down here, you can leave these parameters alone for now. No need to worry about what they mean. Next, the second page is MIDI processing. Here we select the MIDI file we want to play. Let me find one. This one, Wang Shuin. Daytime. Then click Scan MIDI info. The MIDI information will show up here. It's not very long, just over 600 notes. Select this track. Click Add after selecting it. Confirm the track selection. Then go to the third page, which is Execute Operation. Here, just click one-click Execute. Then wait for it to generate the animation data. Alright, it's done generating. Click Copy Results. Then go back to the Music DAW Unreal interface. In the second panel, the Operation panel, there's an animation file paste field. Paste the path we just copied. Then click Generate Animation. And it's done. Now we need to replace the audio track, since this still has the old audio. In the sequence, find the audio track and delete it. Let's locate it. It shouldn't be too long. 5642. Let's adjust the track length. Alright, now we can start playing. So that's the quick start for UE. If you want to learn about the more advanced stuff, how piano dolls are actually made, the full process is a lot more complicated. You can follow my upcoming tutorial section for that, and you'll need a lot more prerequisite knowledge. Be able to use 3D modeling software to edit bones, deform animations, and materials. I will demonstrate with Blender. However, you can also use other software. Know how to use the control rig blueprint in Unreal. But if you just want to use the existing characters, Citlali, Ramu, Sandrine, and Farina, so that's all you need to know here. The quick start section is like this. For more information, you can check out the subsequent tutorials. Thank you for watching. See you next time.